Welcome to my channel Most Worth Coins, WC Today. Videos is one you won't to miss. We're diving into the world of top 6 1-cent coins. So let's get it started. The 19999 1-cent coin, Lincoln cent. Especially useful for old condition coins. Perfect if you're thinking about collecting, selling, or using it in your content. Country, United States of America. Denomination 1 cent. Penny, obverse. Front. Features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. In God We Trust, above Lincoln's head. Liberty, to the left. The year 1999, to the right. Mint mark, if present, under the date. No mint mark. Philadelphia Mint. D. Denver Mint. S. San Francisco Mint for proof coins. Reverse. Back. Shows the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparro, used from 1959 to 2008. United States of America, around the top. A pluribus unum, above the Lincoln Memorial, 1 cent, at the bottom. A small image of Lincoln seated inside the memorial is visible under magnification. A unique touch. Metal composition. Copper-plated zinc, 97.5% zinc, 2.5% copper. This switch happened starting mid-1982 due to rising copper prices. Physical specifications. Weight, 2.5 grams diameter, 19.05 mm thickness, 1.52 medge edge. Plain, smooth, no reading. Mintage figures. Approximate coins struck. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. 5,000 to 37,600,000 coins. Denver Mint, D mint mark. 6360 65,000 coins. San Francisco Mint, S proof only. 3,347,966 coins. Over 11 billion circulation. Coins, very high mintage. Varieties and errors, important for old coins. Some 1999 cents may have errors that increase value. Wide AM reverse, rare and valuable. Normally, the letters A and M in America are close together, close AM. But some Philadelphia, no mint mark, coins accidentally have the wide AM where the letters are spaced apart. A 1999 wide AM can sell for $101,000 plus depending on condition. Other errors, off-center strikes double die obverse, rare doubling in lettering or Lincoln's face, clipped planchets, missing a small piece from the edge, die cracks, cuds, and struck through debris. Errors are what make an ordinary coin extraordinary. Value, old condition. Circulated, old used condition. Face value, 1 cent, if worn normally. C by 2 to 25C. For nicely preserved ones with less wear. Higher if it's an error coin. Wide AM, doubled die, etc. Uncirculated, mint state. MS65. Gem uncirculated, around $5–10. MS67 plus, superb uncirculated, can go up to $100 or more. Proof coins, from San Francisco, S mint mark. Typically sell for $15 depending on the condition. Historical context. Why 1999 matters. The year 1999 was part of a late 1990s economic boom. Lincoln cents remained a trusted part of daily American life, even as the U.S. approached the new millennium, Y2K. 1999 was the second to last year for the Lincoln Memorial reverse design before the Lincoln bicentennial cents started in 2009. Quick tip for checking wide, use a magnifying glass. Look closely at the space between the A and M in America on the reverse. If they are clearly separated, you might have a valuable wide AM 1999 Lincoln cents are very common in old condition, but some rare varieties like the wide AM reverse can be highly valuable. Even normal ones can be nice additions for beginning collectors or bulk coin sellers. Would you like me to also show you with photos how to spot a wide AM versus a close AM? It's very easy once you see the difference. Should I get an example for you? The 1995 United States 1-cent coin, commonly referred to as the 1995 Lincoln cent, holds an important place within the history of American coinage, not only as part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, but also because of a major error variety discovered that year that captivated collectors. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent replaced the Indian head cent and has since become the longest-running design in U.S. coinage history. By 1995, the obverse front of the coin still featured the familiar bust of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Lithuanian-born sculptor Victor David Brenner. Brenner's initials, VDB, appear at the base of Lincoln's shoulder on the obverse. The obverse features Lincoln facing right, with the motto, "In God We Trust," arched along the top edge, the word liberty to Lincoln's left, and the date, 1995, to his right, followed by the mint mark, if applicable. Most 1995 cents were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint, with a D mint mark. Some were also produced in San Francisco, proof coins with S mint mark. The reverse side, still bearing the Lincoln Memorial design introduced in 1959 for the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, was created by Frank Gasparo. In tiny detail, a miniature statue of Lincoln seated in the center of the memorial is visible between the columns. A remarkable aspect considering the small size of the cent. Surrounding the memorial, the red United States of America at the asa top, e pluribus unum just above the memorial itself, and 1 cent across the bottom. The 1995 Lincoln cent is made of a copper-plated zinc composition, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. A metal formula that had been adopted in 1982 when the rising price of copper forced the U.S. Mint to move away from the earlier nearly pure copper coins. Each coin weighs about 2.5 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and features a plain edge without reading. One of the most notable facts about the 1995 Lincoln cent is the 1995 double die obverse DDO variety, one of the most popular modern double die errors. A double die occurs when the hub, which impresses the design onto the die, impresses the die twice, slightly misaligned, causing a doubling of the image. In the case of the 1995 DDO, the doubling is most obvious on the Liberty and In God We Trust, and also visible to a lesser extent on the date. This doubling is easily visible without magnification and captured the imagination of collectors almost immediately after the variety was discovered. Initially, this caused a frenzy, with people searching through bankrolls, circulation, and mint sets to find examples. In the mid to late 1990s, uncirculated examples of the 1995 DDO were selling for significant premiums, sometimes upwards of $50 to $100 depending on condition. Today, the value remains respectable, with MS65 red, mint state, red color designation, examples still commanding $30, $50 and higher grades, such as MS67RD, being much more valuable. Proof coins, which were struck separately and specially for collectors at the San Francisco Mint, do not display this double die variety. In terms of regular 1995 cents, billions were minted. 6,440,000 from Philadelphia, 7,128,560,000 from Denver, and 2,797,481 proof coins from San Francisco, making it extremely common. In circulated condition, they are generally worth only face value unless they have unusual errors, are uncirculated, or are the famous DDO variety. Regular uncirculated 1995 cents from rolls or bags can still be found today with brilliant red surfaces, and due to their massive mintage, they are affordable for beginning collectors. High-grade examples are often collected as part of date and mint mark sets or sought after for registry sets focusing on Lincoln cents. From a historical perspective, 1995 was a time of transition for the U.S. Mint, as advances in technology were beginning to change how dies were prepared. Traditional hand engraving methods were being replaced more and more with digital and computer-assisted techniques. The 1995 doubled die obverse is one of the last major doubled die varieties created, using the older manual hubbing process. After 1996, with the adoption of the single-squeeze hubbing method, major doubled die errors became much rarer. This makes the 1995 DDO especially significant, marking the end of an era for die production errors of this kind. It's often compared in importance to earlier famous doubled dies, like the 1955 doubled die cent, though it is not quite as rare or valuable as the legendary 1955 issue. Aside from the doubled die variety, collectors also look for other minor errors among 1995 cents, such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, cuds, and clipped planchets, though these are far less celebrated than the DDO. Occasionally, collectors encounter 1995 cents, struck on foreign planchets, such as those intended for the Philippines, which can be quite valuable. Additionally, because these coins were produced during the height of the copper-plated zinc era, 1995 cents sometimes suffer from zinc rot, where the thin copper coating is damaged, exposing the zinc underneath to corrosion. This makes finding pristine examples even more important for collectors who seek high-quality coins. In summary, the 1995 United States 1 cent is a coin that represents both the everyday nature of American small change and a fascinating moment in modern numismatic history. Its abundant mintage ensures its continued presence in circulation even today, but its doubled die error keeps the year 1995 memorable to coin collectors. Whether found as a simple, circulated cent in change or as a gleaming, doubled die treasure, the 1995 Lincoln cent offers something for collectors at every level. As a final note, those interested in collecting 1995 Lincoln cents should be cautious of counterfeit doubled die examples, as the popularity of this variety has, over time, inspired some fakes. Knowledge of diagnostics, such as strong doubling, on liberty and in God we trust, the absence of doubling on Lincoln's portrait, and other details, is essential for serious collectors. Overall, the 1995 cent is a brilliant example of how even the most common coins can have hidden stories, significant varieties, and deep connections to the technological and historical evolution of American coinage. The 1996 United States 1 cent coin, often referred to simply as the 1996 Lincoln cent, is part of the long-standing series that features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, on the obverse. This design was originally introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday and was crafted by the artist and engraver Victor David Brenner. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent has become the longest-running coin design in American history. By 1996, the obverse still retained Brenner's portrait of Lincoln, showing him in profile facing right, with the motto, "In God We Trust," arched along the upper rim, Liberty, positioned to Lincoln's left, and the date 1996 struck to the right, along with a mint mark if applicable. The mint marks for the 1996 cent include D for the Denver Mint and S for the San Francisco Mint on proof coins, while coins from the Philadelphia Mint carried no mint mark. The VDB initials are subtly located at the base of Lincoln's. Bust on the shoulder, a nod to Brenner's original design. The reverse side, unchanged since 1959, featured the image of the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. In a remarkable display of minute craftsmanship, the seated figure of Lincoln inside the memorial is visible, even though the coin is tiny. Surrounding the memorial are the United States of America across the top, e pluribus unum, out of many one, just above the memorial, and 1 cent along the bottom. The 1996 Lincoln cent, like all cents minted after mid-1982, is composed of copper-plated zinc, consisting of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. Each coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a smooth, plain edge without reading. This change from a primarily copper composition to a copper-plated zinc core was made in response to the rising price of copper in the early 1980s, and the 1996 cents reflect the characteristics of this newer composition. As a result, they are lighter than their pre-1982 counterparts and are prone to certain types of damage, such as blistering or zinc rot, if the thin copper coating is breached. In terms of mintage, the 1996 Lincoln cents were produced in massive numbers, reflecting the ongoing need for small denomination coins in commerce. Philadelphia struck 6,006 to 12 the 465,000 cents. Denver produced 6,509, 132,000, and San Francisco minted 1,750,244 proof cents. Together, the mintage exceeded 13 billion coins, making the 1996 cent one of the most common issues of the 1990s. As a result, most circulated examples today are only worth their face value, though pristine, uncirculated specimens are sought after by collectors aiming to complete high-grade sets. Particularly attractive examples in mint state 67 or higher, with strong red coloration, RD designation in coin grading, can command small premiums, but even these are relatively affordable compared to scarcer dates in the Lincoln cent series. Unlike the previous year's excitement with the 1995 double-die obverse, the 1996 Lincoln cent is not associated with any major double-die varieties. However, minor varieties and errors exist, including minor double dies, die cracks, die chips, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and other striking anomalies. One minor double die for 1996 shows slight doubling on Liberty or parts of In God We Trust, but these are typically subtle and require magnification to appreciate. Errors like off-center strikes or coins struck on improper planchets, such as foreign coins or wrong metal types, can also be found and are of interest to error collectors, sometimes selling for several dollars or more depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. Additionally, the copper-plated zinc composition can result in planchet flaws, including plating blisters, raised bubbles on the coin's surface caused by improper bonding between the copper layer and the zinc. One interesting aspect of the 1996 cent lies in the broader context of U.S. mint practices at the time. The mid-1990s saw the U.S. Mint increasingly adopting computer-aided design and manufacturing technologies. These advances were intended to produce more consistent and detailed coinage, but they also made major minting errors like dramatic doubled dies less common. Nevertheless, the traditional multi-squeeze hubbing method was still sometimes used alongside the newer single-squeeze method, creating a transition period where some minor hubbing errors could still happen. This technical transition makes the 1996 cent a product of both old and new minting techniques, a bridge between the classic and modern eras of U.S. coin production. Proof versions of the 1996 Lincoln cent, struck at the San Francisco Mint, were produced with exceptional quality standards aimed at collectors. These proof coins, bearing an S mint mark, are struck multiple times with specially prepared dies on polished blanks, resulting in coins with deep mirrored fields and frosted devices. They are included in 1996 proof sets and are highly reflective, with sharp details. A perfect proof 70 coin can carry a higher value, particularly among collectors who seek flawless specimens for registry sets. When assessing 1996 Lincoln cents for collections, eye appeal is key. Coins with rich original red color, strong luster, and minimal marks are preferred. While circulated examples are plentiful and generally not collected unless exhibiting unusual errors, mint state coins, graded MS65 and above, are appreciated for their beauty and for completing a full date and mint mark run of Lincoln cents. Assembling such a set, 1 cent from every year and mint, remains one of the most popular pursuits in American numismatics, and the 1996 cent is an easy and inexpensive piece for collectors to obtain. However, finding a true MS68RD red example remains challenging and expensive, as most coins show small handling marks or production flaws. From a cultural standpoint, the Lincoln cent, including the 1996 issue, represents a continuing tribute to one of America's most revered leaders. Abraham Lincoln's legacy of unity, emancipation, and leadership during the nation's most difficult era is immortalized in this humble denomination. By 1996, the Lincoln cent had been in circulation for 87 years, far outlasting the usual life expectancy of U.S. coin designs. Plans for a redesign wouldn't occur until 2009, when the Mint honored Lincoln's bicentennial with a series of special reverse designs. Thus, the 1996 Lincoln cent stands as part of the final stretch of the Lincoln Memorial reverse era, an enduring image in American change purses, cash registers, and pocket collections across the country. In summary, the 1996 United States 1 cent is an everyday coin with extraordinary historic connections, a reminder of America's values, and a quiet but enduring piece of numismatic heritage. While individually common and of little monetary value in worn condition, the 1996 Lincoln cent, especially in pristine mint state or proof grades, continues to offer collectors the satisfaction of completing a timeless and historically meaningful series. With subtle minor varieties, an interesting place in mint history, and the enduring story of Lincoln's legacy behind it, the 1996 cent remains a small but significant chapter in the vast narrative of U.S. coinage. The 1989 United States 1 cent coin, commonly called the 1989 Lincoln cent, is a notable member of the long-running Lincoln cent series, which has been in continuous production since 1909. Originally introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, this design marked a major turning point in American numismatics. It was the first time a real historical figure appeared on a regular issue U.S. coin. The obverse front of the 1989 cent still features the famous right-facing portrait of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a Lithuanian-born sculptor whose work remains among the most recognized in coin history. They include "In God We Trust" across the top edge, "Liberty" to Lincoln's left, and the date 1989 to the right, accompanied by the mint mark if applicable. Coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint carry no mint mark, while those from Denver are marked with a small D to the right of the date. The proof coins from San Francisco bear an S mint mark. Brenner's initials, VDB, are discreetly placed on Lincoln's shoulder, reinstated there in 1918 after initial controversy over their prominence in 1909. The reverse, back of the 1989 cent features the Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Gasparo in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Above the memorial, the motto "E pluribus unum," out of many, one, appears in smaller letters, while United States of America arches around the top and 1 cent stretches across the bottom. This design replaced Brenner's original wheat ears, known as the wheat cent, and was intended to symbolize national unity and Lincoln's role in preserving the Union. A remarkable detail on the memorial reverse is the visible statue of Lincoln, seated between the columns, a miniature detail that's often overlooked without magnification, but symbolizes the artistic precision of the design. The 1989 Lincoln cent, like all Lincoln cents minted after mid-1982, was struck using a copper-plated zinc composition, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, replacing the earlier bronze alloy, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, due to rising copper costs. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams, has a 19.05 millimeter diameter, and features a smooth, plain edge. This zinc core and thin copper coating are responsible for issues like zinc rot if the plating cracks, which collectors must watch for when evaluating the condition of these coins. In terms of production, 1989 saw extremely high mintages, as part of the U.S. Mint's effort to meet public demand for circulating coinage. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 7,261,535,000 cents. The Denver Mint produced around 5,345,004 but 67,111, and the San Francisco Mint created 3,220,194 proof cents for inclusion in collector sets. These enormous mintages mean that the 1989 cent is extremely common even today. As a result, most circulated examples carry no additional value beyond face value. However, collectors do seek out pristine, uncirculated examples with full red color, graded as RD for red, and coins graded at mint state 66 or higher, which can command modest premiums, particularly from Denver, where quality control was slightly less consistent compared to Philadelphia. Collectors also prize flawless proof coins from 1989, especially those graded PR69 DCAM, Proof 69 Deep Cameo, or Perfect PR70 DCAM, although even these proofs remain fairly affordable due to the high survival rate. The 1989 Lincoln cent is not famous for major doubled dies or other prominent varieties like the 1983 doubled die reverse or the 1995 doubled die obverse. However, minor doubled dies, die cracks, die chips, such as extra metal on Lincoln's face, coat, or lettering, off-center strikes, and other mint errors exist and are collected by error enthusiasts. One common error found among 1989 cents is plating blisters, where the thin copper coating bubbles due to improper bonding with the zinc core, a byproduct of the copper-plated zinc manufacturing process. Though often considered damage rather than a collectible error, some collectors enjoy hunting for dramatic examples of blistering. Another small collectible curiosity involves strong machine doubling, particularly around the lettering, which can sometimes mimic a double die appearance but is much less valuable. Contextually, 1989 was a transitional time for the U.S. Mint, which had been modernizing production processes with more advanced die-making and quality control technologies. However, many Lincoln cents of this era, especially those from Denver, show relatively weak strikes, bag marks, and poor luster compared to earlier coins. As a result, finding a 1989 cent in truly exceptional condition, especially with a full strike, clean fields, and blazing red surfaces, can still present a fun challenge for collectors. These high-end coins are often submitted for third-party grading to companies like PCGS and NGC, where top examples can achieve premium prices among those building registry sets. Roof-proof versions of the 1989 cent, struck in San Francisco, were produced with remarkable attention to detail. Proof coins are specially made by striking the planche multiple times with specially polished dies, creating deeply mirrored fields and frosted devices. Proof 1989 cents exhibit beautiful contrasts, and most proof coins from this year are well struck. Collectors looking for complete Lincoln cent collections often include the 1989 proof in their proof sets, or dedicated Lincoln cent proof collections. In terms of cultural and historical significance, the 1989 Lincoln cent carried forward a tradition that spanned decades, presenting Lincoln's image as a symbol of freedom, unity, and perseverance. 1989 marked the 80th anniversary of the Lincoln cent's introduction, though no special commemorative issues were produced that year. However, within the broader world of numismatics, the late 1980s were a period of steady, stable coin production, preparing the way for bigger changes that would come in the following decades, such as the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial cents and the 2010 introduction of the Lincoln Shield Reverse. In conclusion, the 1989 United States 1-cent coin is a deeply familiar, widely circulated piece of American life, representing continuity and respect for Lincoln's enduring legacy. Although it does not boast dramatic varieties or exceptional rarity, its immense mintage, distinctive composition, and place within the broader story of U.S. coinage give it lasting importance. High-quality, uncirculated examples and proof strikes, remain affordable and accessible to collectors, while minor errors and varieties add a layer of intrigue for those willing to search. Whether tucked away in a drawer of spare change, assembled into a complete Lincoln cent date set, or appreciated as part of America's most iconic small denomination, the 1989 Lincoln cent remains a small but meaningful artifact of American history and craftsmanship. Would you like me to also make a short video script, a bullet point quick facts sheet, or a special collector's checklist for 1989 cents? I can also show you a comparison between 1989 and 1995 or 1996 Lincoln cents. If you want,